My name's Brian Monaghan from CurrencyFair. I'm the head of online, which looks at a few different things at the moment. So I suppose mostly marketing, business intelligence, and kind of the finance side of the business. Traditionally, they wouldn't be too linked. These days in the online world, they're all based in numbers, all based in data. So there's kind of an overlap. So that's kind of what I do in CurrencyFair.
Remind us again, Brian, what is it that CurrencyFair does?
CurrencyFair is an international money transfer company. In a nutshell, it's just much cheaper than using a bank. It's about 90% cheaper than using your bank. It does this through three main methods. Number one is it uses domestic bank transfers instead of international bank transfers. So for example, it uses two domestic bank transfers instead of one international one. So you would send your money from just say AIB into the CurrencyFair bank account in Dublin. You would exchange that to, let's say, Aussie dollars, and then you would use the CurrencyFair account down in Australia to send out to whoever you were sending to in Sydney, let's say. Domestic bank transfers are usually free, and they're actually quite quick. So it's not only much cheaper, it's actually quicker than doing an international bank transfer. That's the kind of mechanism. It's quite simple. The second thing is it's peer-to-peer. So you might be sending money to Australia, and Australia might be sending money to, just say, Ireland, or, well, anywhere in the Eurozone, because it's matching euro in this case. We'll match you off on the platform. That, again, makes it a lot cheaper for the customer and makes it a lot cheaper for us to service. The third thing is it's online only. So it doesn't have legacy technology, it doesn't have legacy systems or a retail presence, which can be very expensive. So again, we can offer this service very cheaply and still make a bit of a profit out of it too. So it's about 90% cheaper than using your banks. Banks have traditionally had a monopoly on this, and they really offer pretty poor service, to be honest, and it's very expensive. So we just aim to do it cheaper and better.
Very good. And that's the value proposition, as simple as that.
It's not rocket science.
It started 4 years ago, Brian. Tell me about that, and tell me about your growth to date, which has been pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it started 4 years ago. We got product market fit about 3 years ago, though. So we got it pretty early on. So we had the founders and the founding employees were about six guys, like six brilliant guys. But they had a banking background, and it was real organic growth through a lot of bootstrapping. It wasn't really taking on any VCs. It wasn't really the kind of like the way that like it's done these days. It was in a recessionary time really in Ireland anyway, but we were growing in spite of ourselves, let's say, and the guys wouldn't mind me saying that a bit too. But so we grew. We were doubling each year, growing a bit faster than that, and just bootstrapping and then just spending. But we were 7 people this time last year, so even after 3 years we were still only 7 people. Then it kind of switched. It was like, look, this thing could be really big, the market's really big, and we're growing really big virally, so let's just get some fundraising in, which we've done, and let's grow out the team. So that's when I came on board, came from Paddy Power, and that's when we started to grow out the team. So we've gone from about 7 people at the start of last year, we're now at 50 people, and to be honest, we're still understaffed as to where our plans are, where we want to be. So it's pretty good. That has a lot of challenges, by the way. There's a lot of change when you go from 7 to 50 in about about 18 months. But it's really exciting too. Every day is different.
Now, when you talk about an aggressive young startup bootstrapping, like you say, that's really what we're talking about here at this event this evening. We're talking about using growth hacks. We're talking about being inventive, being creative. You don't have a budget to spend on advertising and marketing. What kind of strategies do you use to spread the word and to market your business? Yeah,
well, for the first 3 years, it was nearly entirely growth hacks. There wasn't like a massive Google search PPC budget. There wasn't a massive, TV campaign. There was none of that because it was bootstrap. So it would have been we didn't really spend much money on marketing. To be perfectly honest, we didn't. So it was through free methods. It was through leveraging our customer database. Whoever we did find, like getting them to refer. The product's very referable, and also personal recommendations go a long way in fintech. Because there's a trust barrier in fintech, a barrier we're getting over at the moment. So we're doing we're trying to make the euro go a long way. This was before I was here, but like the guys did some really clever things to make the euro go a long way. That has changed hugely in the past year, whereby we've had to really try turn on loads of different marketing channels. And like, so for example, we're doing a lot now on display. We did a TV campaign in the UK, and a network that's worked really well for us is Facebook. We do a lot of Facebook marketing, and just trying to find innovative ways, like when everyone's looking to the right in a channel, we're just having a look, see if there is a little golden egg by looking left, things like that.